I left for a 3-day business trip and came home to the sound of excavators chewing through my back field. The HOA said they were improving community drainage. The problem, they were digging a pond on my land. They thought I wouldn't fight it. They thought wrong. I bought my property because it was quiet, 5 acres at the edge of the subdivision, technically inside the HOA boundary, but separated by a tree line and a shallow ridge that made it feel like its own world. I'm a civil engineer by trade. I understand land, grading, drainage. I chose this lot carefully. The soil composition, the slope, the runoff patterns. I did everything by the book. When I built my workshop, I pulled permits. When I extended the gravel drive, I filed plans. When I installed a culvert to improve stormwater flow, I sent stamped drawings to the county and copied the HOA Architectural Committee. I keep binders, tabs, dates, receipts. That's when I first met Linda. Linda Mercer, HOA president, early 50s, perfect posture, permanent half smile that never reached her eyes. The first time she showed up, she didn't knock. She walked straight past my open workshop door and stood just inside the threshold. "I'm just doing a quick compliance check," she said, holding a clipboard. "Community safety." I set down my torque wrench and wiped my hands. "I wasn't notified," I said. She gave me that smile. "The bylaws allow visual inspections." She didn't say she wasn't allowed inside structures, but she didn't need to. The implication was there. That became the pattern. Unannounced visits, questions framed as concerns. "Are you sure that grading won't affect drainage for the lower homes?" I've had a few residents express discomfort about the industrial look of your equipment. Technically, gravel tone consistency is addressed in subsection 4.3. Every conversation had a paper trail attached to it, emails referencing obscure clauses, letters printed on HOA letterhead with words like non-compliance review and potential violation assessment. Each time, I responded calmly, attached permits, attached engineering diagrams, quoted county codes. She escalated in tone, not action. At the next HOA meeting, she mentioned a homeowner at the edge of the property creating potential runoff liabilities. She didn't say my name. She didn't need to. Neighbors began asking questions. I invited 2 of them over, showed them the stamped drainage plan approved by the county, explained the flow direction, the elevation differentials. Facts calm reasonable people. Linda didn't like that. A month later, I received a certified letter, Notice of Environmental Concern. According to the HOA, my land sat at a critical watershed transition point. They were evaluating options to mitigate standing water risk for the community. I read that sentence 3 times. There had never been standing water on my lot. The slope drains away from the neighborhood. I replied formally, attached topographical surveys, requested clarification. No response. Then I saw the survey flags. Bright orange markers appeared along my rear tree line one Thursday morning. No notice, no email. I walked the perimeter with a GPS app in my original boundary survey. They were 5 to 8 feet inside my property. I removed them carefully, documented everything, time-stamped photos. That afternoon, Linda showed up again. "You removed community planning markers," she said, evenly. "They were on my land." She tilted her head. "That's under review." There it was. Not accusation, not apology, just the quiet assumption that her interpretation outweighed recorded deeds. That night, I pulled my property file from the safe. Deed, plat map, surveyor certification, county GIS printouts. Everything was clear. But Linda had stopped using words like concern. She'd started using words like project. And projects require ground to break.
If you enjoy the video, please subscribe. I was out of town for 72 hours. When I turned onto my road, I heard engines before I saw them. Diesel, hydraulic whine, metal teeth scraping soil. 2 excavators, 1 skid steer, and a growing depression in the center of my back field. For a moment, I honestly thought I was on the wrong property. Then I saw my workshop roof through the trees. I parked without speaking, walked past the equipment, filmed everything on my phone. The operator climbed down from the nearest excavator. "You the homeowner?" he asked. "Yes." He wiped sweat from his forehead. "We've got authorization from the HOA to start retention pond excavation." "On what parcel?" He showed me a printed sheet. It had the subdivision name, a highlighted area, no parcel number. I pulled up the county property map on my phone, zoomed in, showed him the boundary overlay. "This is private property," I said, "owned by me, not common area." He frowned. "We were told this was designated drainage expansion." "By who?" He hesitated. "HOA board." I stepped back, dialed my attorney. Then I called the county permitting office. No permit had been issued for pond construction, not on my parcel, not anywhere in the subdivision. I asked the equipment operator to pause work until the discrepancy was resolved. He made a call. 20 minutes later, Linda's SUV rolled in. She stepped out composed, sunglasses on. "This is a scheduled infrastructure improvement," she said. "You don't have a permit," I replied. "It's community land. It's deeded land." She looked at the excavation behind me, a trench already 4 feet deep, soil piled in ridges. "You're overreacting," she said quietly. "This benefits everyone." I held up my phone. "I've already sent documentation to my attorney and the county. You're trespassing and you've caused property damage." For the first time, her smile slipped. The county inspector arrived the next morning. Work had stopped overnight. He walked the site with a laser level and clipboard, asked for permits. Linda produced a proposal document, not a permit. By noon, a stop work order was posted. By 3 p.m., I had an official incident report documenting unauthorized excavation on private property. Linda doubled down. An email went out to the entire community claiming I had refused cooperative drainage solutions and was obstructing flood prevention efforts. I replied to all, attached my deed, attached the stop work order, attached the absence of permits. Then I hired my own licensed surveyor to remark the boundary in bright steel stakes and concrete monuments. And I installed 4 additional security cameras covering the entire rear acreage. The excavated pit filled with rain 2 days later. Not a pond, just damage. My attorney filed a demand letter for restoration and compensation. Linda responded through HOA counsel claiming good faith reliance on planning documents. The problem with good faith is that it doesn't override property law. The county opened a formal investigation, and Linda's signature was on every approval email sent to the contractor. She hadn't just pushed boundaries, she'd crossed them with heavy machinery.
The emergency HOA meeting was standing room only. Word spreads fast when legal letters start circulating. Linda sat at the front table, posture rigid, her attorney beside her. I brought a binder, 3 inches thick. Tab 1, Deed and Plat. Tab 2, Survey Confirmation. Tab 3, Time-stamped excavation footage. Tab 4, Stop Work Order. Tab 5, Contractor Statement confirming HOA authorization. When it was my turn, I didn't raise my voice. I connected my laptop to the projector, played the video of the excavator digging into my land, showed the boundary overlay, displayed the county code requiring permits for retention basins. Then I displayed the demand letter outlining restoration costs, $42,000 for soil replacement, compaction, grading, and erosion control. The room was silent. One neighbor stood up. "We were told that was common land." I nodded. "You were told incorrectly." The county investigator spoke next. He confirmed no permit application had ever been submitted. He confirmed the land was privately deeded. Linda attempted to frame it as a misunderstanding, but misunderstandings don't involve signed excavation contracts. A motion was raised to suspend her as HOA president pending investigation. It passed. 2 weeks later, the HOA's insurance carrier declined coverage, citing unauthorized action outside governing authority. The board voted to settle. The HOA paid full restoration costs plus legal fees. Linda resigned before the final vote. The county issued a civil fine for unpermitted earthwork and referred the matter for further review regarding fraudulent representation of land authority. The earth-moving company I hired arrived on a quiet Monday morning, not to escalate, to restore. They filled the pit, compacted in layers, regraded to original slope specifications, installed proper erosion barriers. I stood at the edge of the field as the final pass smoothed the soil flat again. No speeches, no victory laps, just land returned to the way it was.
Neighbors stopped by over the next few days. Some apologized. Some admitted they'd assumed the HOA had the right.